Hello, welcome to the next vlog, and this one's all about every narrowboater's worst nightmare if you have a pump out toilet where you go to press the button and nothing happens, or you get a funny noise and nothing happens, and that's what happened here. Fortunately, while we were in the marina, so it's not the end of the world, but the connections at the back of the toilet went warm, quite hot. The motor was making a clicky sound, so it looked like the problem was coming from underneath the toilet. So it's a job I wasn't looking forward to, but you got to do it. I'm pulling this away very gently as I don't know what's going to happen, whether some pipe's going to drop off and stuff goes everywhere or whatever, so just being very, very careful. Fortunately, the connections are really, really simple. It's just red and black for the main motor or the macerator in the toilet, and a brown and a blue wire for the fresh water input solenoid. So not much to disconnect there. It was the pipe that I was a little bit concerned about, which a little bit intrepid. And here you can see the connections, so it's just one big pipe coming out, which is the output into the waste tank. So pulling the toilet forward and very carefully undoing this, not really knowing what I'm going to find. We shall see. This pipe's very securely held on, which makes me a little bit concerned as to why so, but fortunately for me it actually came off quite easily as well, which is good. And it's around about this point where you start to get a few whiffs, so it's not a particularly pleasant job, but it's got to be done. It's the same as a normal toilet really, in that there's water in the bottom, kept in the bottom, which in the siphon area, so it just keeps smells out of the toilet and out of the room. But obviously once you break that, the water drains and all is free. Yeah, I suppose I should put a warning up. Well, lack of a warning really. There's nothing you're going to see in this vlog which is unpleasant, should we say. All right. The smell. Ugh. Absolutely rank. Yeah, I do tend to grumble to myself quite a lot while I'm doing this. Yeah, so that's it. So everything's now disconnected. Bung up the old pipe just to stop resident smells coming in, and the toilet's pretty much ready to take out and have a look. And there's the water solenoid. So notice that on that pipe there's a kink in it, and that's something else I need to sort because that's caused me a few problems in the past. So that's on my list as well. There's a good chance the loo won't be there for a while, so I thought I'd better try and make this a little bit more permanent just to stop the smells.
Yes, yeah.
So that's it with it all out. And this is it out on the pontoon. You can see how bad it is. The motor is pretty corroded, and the cable's not too good as it goes into the motor. I connected it back up again. I took it out of the toilet and connected it back up just to test it because it does go sometimes, not all the times. I just wanted to see if it's salvageable. But of the 10 times I tested it, it went about 7 or 8, which you don't want to get stuck with it. So we ordered, and now looking to tar up the toilet area. It's looking a bit stained over the years with water ingress and all that sort of thing. And I thought we could sort of put a plastic coat around it just to make it look nicer and to make it look cleaner. So we're sort of going to turn it into like a nightclub toilet with a black and sort of silver sparkly effect, sort of plastic at the back and bottom, which hopefully will sort of tidy it up a little bit. First we've got to get all the bits off though. There's a false backing to the toilet which works really well, so it hides all the wires. So take all the buttons off and the sensors, and then you can just remove the back, and that then means you can just take it away and cover that, and that works really well. This is the toilet tank sensor, which was fitted after the boat was made. It's got an add-on sensor on the tank, which is a little bit more accurate than the one on the main control panel. So obviously it adds to the cabling and complications, but it's a useful thing to have because it's very accurate. Yeah, there's going to be quite a few occasions where the lighting is a bit dodgy, I'm afraid, because it's not the brightest bathroom and it was a dull day. So if I'm not thinking about where the light is, I do apologise. But yeah, so just taking off this false backing, it's just a few screws, and then we can just take that off and move that to a bigger area where we can stick the sheet onto. And here you can see what's hiding behind there. So there's the pump out bit as it enters, and there's all the cabling that comes through. The toilet control panel is just behind the wood of the main wall, so it's all very close together. Just using this as an opportunity to tidy up the cabling, um, which should hopefully make things easier when it all goes back in again. So I'm going to do the base first, so taking out the toilet holder, if you like, and just going to need to level that off, because obviously over the years the sort of water leaks and that, it's sort of raised and got into the base a little bit, so just trying to scrape that so it's nice and level. But you can see it's a bit of a mess, and it's not a very nice sort of area. You just want to sort of make it look cleaner. Even though it's not dirty, it just doesn't look nice. I just need to do this because obviously having a new base is going to raise the floor up a bit, and I just need to cut this bit of wood off. Now I just need to get a template together so I know where the 3 holes are to screw the toilet back in again. I don't want to have to move it at all, so I want them to use the same holes again. Getting a bit of cardboard seems to be the way to do it. Simple. There, and here's the base. What do you think? Do you like it? Looks kind of snazzy, doesn't it? Yeah, just got to cut the corner off, but hopefully that'll be okay. It's shiny as it is at the moment, but when you take the coating off, the cover off, boy does that go shiny, really shiny. In fact, it looks constantly wet, which is probably not the greatest sort of look for around a toilet area, but it's at least it's clean anyway. But that just rests on there, just fits nicely. And there you go. I'm really pleased with that. I think that that changes it quite a lot. Looks nice. All those scratchy sort of areas will disappear when I take the coating off. So now we've got the template back on. Just need to drill those holes for the toilet. So that goes back exactly where it came from. Okay, so I've taken the false backing out and just dabbing glue on it. I think this is like No More Nails or something like that. Just dabbing that all over the place on there, just so that I can lie the plastic onto it and stick it to it, so it becomes quite a solid item. And when working on an aeroboat, you've got to be a bit creative really with things. So these are the only heavy things I had to hand. So that sort of stuck that quite nicely to that. So once I've done that, cut all the holes back out. And I think that's going to look nice when that goes in. That certainly smarten it up anyway. So pop the toilet tank bit in. And once that's all connected, we can pop it back and just check it all fits okay. Just flips in, and again. And see if it fits. Just started to take the plastic coating off as well, and it's really thick coating, and it really changes it. It goes like a mirror. It's really quite odd, but fortunately it fits really well. Again, as I've been going around the boat doing all these jobs, all the screws always seem to go rusty, so I've got a big pack of stainless steel screws that I always replace things with, and that always seems to look better. There you are. So just change it a little bit nightclubby maybe, but yeah, I think that looks cleaner, certainly shiny. And here's our new motor stroke macerator. It's a really simple device actually. I couldn't believe how simple it is. This little motor, obviously it does its business cutting things up and all that, but it also acts as the pump, so it pumps things out as well. So just this little unit does the whole thing. So it's not very complicated at all. And it all comes as one unit. You can't sort of get the bits on their own, unfortunately. And then you just pop the rubber bit on there, and that sort of allows it to go back onto the toilet itself. Very, very simple. We had wondered whether to go ahead and do this because we've been thinking about different toilets, compost or cassette or whatever. But WaterLily's a little bit different to normal narrowboats in that she's got a massive waste tank and also a dedicated water tank for the toilet. So it seemed a shame not to do that. That's the old one, so you can see the difference with the new one in there. I actually put packing in there as well because the motor has quite a kick when it starts, so I just wanted to make it so that it didn't move as much. You can see the packing there. So popping it all back in. It took about 2 weeks to get the new motor, so this is obviously later on, so you can see how stuck you'd be if you were on the cut when this happened. That's it, so just connect everything up. Here's my new water valve and also a shorter pipe so it doesn't kink. If you recall earlier on I mentioned that. So that's all back in, that's all connected. Let's see what happens. And it does put the water in, that's working fine. And just checking for leaks, obviously you don't want any leaks at all. There you are. I think that looks alright. That certainly spruced it up a bit and made it nice and easy to clean. Works well. Motor works every time. It's always important to have confidence in your toilet, I always find. There you go. So it's going through the cycle now. So it pops water in there and then sucks it out. And then replaces it with a little bit. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Obviously it's been a bit different and we'll catch you on the next vlog. Who knows when that will be? But thank you very much for watching. Thank you.